Hi, fellow traders. Yes, that's me. I'm dreaming of salt water again. It's starting to, I'm starting to get that feeling again. But wanted to share with you real quick my trades that I did today. Um, Try to share with you the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because we're all human, we do make mistakes. But it's how we respond to them is that what determines whether we make money or not. So I try to do my best to react to these situations calm, cool, and collectively, because what happens is you can continue to dig holes for yourself and make your situation a lot worse. So just wanted to share with you my day. Hopefully we'll have a smooth, uneventful Friday, because I'm really looking forward to the start of August. As far as I'm concerned, this is the last part of the year. I know the fourth quarter hadn't started yet, but as far as I'm concerned, this is when my final push for the year starts. So looking forward to that. All right, guys. So we'll just go ahead and take a look at my trades. All right, let's look at some of my trades from today. I didn't have a watch list like you would think I would have. Most people would have Netflix and Facebook, because of that they were moving this morning. But I don't like to trade those at the open in a small account. That's just me. I don't like it. I love trading for trend continuation, secondary trades. I love doing that. But at the open, I'm just not comfortable with them in a small account. And I tend to stay away from them. So the only one that I looked at was TER. And I liked it because we had some potential in it. What I didn't like was the pre-market price action. You can see how ugly the pre-market price action was. But, once we got on the other side of 9 o'clock, things kind of settled in. But then, we had this push up. I didn't want to see this. I wanted to see this a little bit later. I wanted to see it stay below this, possibly sell off, and then at the open, push up on the first candle. Well, we had this candle, and then the candle prior to open, we got volume, and this thing took off. It started making the move early. So we actually started making the move 5 minutes earlier than I had anticipated. And it really threw me off. This should have been my entry up here, because I wanted to enter off of rejection of this level. That was my plan. I wasn't going to do the 5 minute opening range. I wanted to get in off of this level. But because it did all of this, it kind of threw me off. And then by the time I got my head out of my backside, I was able to get a nice risk reward trade off. I knew I had a level down here. I had a good window here. And then there was another good window down to, I think, 32.16, which is my ultimate target. That's what I was looking for. So I got in, and I got in under, the VWAP here. And we had a nice move down almost immediately to my first target. And it hit. And because of the way the trades have been going this month for me, I decided to take 2/3 of my position off at my first target versus taking half, because I haven't really been getting a whole lot of follow through. I get to move to the first target and then that's it. So I end up with these small $40, $50 gains, and that's not what I want. So I took 2/3 off here, locked in this profit, and then it got bought right back up. And so this candle opened and it started to sell, and I started to feel pretty decent about it. But it got bought right back up. It stopped me out at break even. Now, you need to stop out at break even if you take profit. The worst thing you can do, the worst feeling you can have is to lock in, over $100 in profit on your first cover and then turn around and give it all back because you was too stubborn and you didn't stop out at break even. Now this is why I put in a hard stop, because me in my infinite wisdom might have said, okay, we closed below V, we didn't push VWAP, so we may be coming back down. And so I wait for this candle, and then this candle blows me up. And I give back all of my gains plus some. This is why I put in a hard stop at break even. I had a lot of questions about that, PM to me today. That's why I do this, is to lock in my gains. So I got stopped out. I locked in, over $100. That's not bad for the first trade out of the gate. And you're trading small size. I only traded 200 or 300 shares on this. That's not bad. But just to address another question, somebody, I don't know why, I don't know how you can't see this, but somebody sent me a PM that was in the free chat room, the sneak peek room today, and asked me how can they know for sure that my trade's alive. And I'm like, what? Okay, this is my Sure Trader platform. It's not a simulator or anything. They don't have that. DOS does, but this is obviously, what DOS does for Sure Trader. Here's my number here. I leave it up so people can verify that this is a live account. But more importantly, this is a timestamp for all of my trades. And if you want to know whether somebody's actually trading or not, this is what you need to see. Because it has the time and the price and the quantity. You should be able to line each one of these up with time and sales. So all of this you see real time. When I take a trade, it pops up here real time. You get to see the route. You get to see the price. You get to see all of this. And then you've got everything you need to verify that the trade was executed. So yeah, if you have somebody that's just saying, I got in here and I got out there, and I got in here and got out there, they could be calling it out. But if you can't see this, you can't verify that the trades were taken. So that's why I'm doing this. And I don't know how more transparent you want me to be. I mean, I told him I would address this tonight in the video and show you exactly what I'm talking about. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Everything, you can verify. I mean, I know you heard the story of Bernie Madoff. He had high school dropouts making fake broker statements that fool the SEC. But the one thing he didn't have was this. He didn't have the numbers. So the SEC could go back and verify that the trades were actually taken. And that's what, you see here. So that's why it's important that I try to be as transparent as possible. Because I could sit here and be telling you anything. But if you can't see it, you can't put your hands on it, it doesn't mean anything. It's all entertainment, and it has no educational value. Alright, so let's look at the next one I took was ALKS, and this one didn't work out too well. Alright, let's drive back. Okay, you see this one was it sold off big time at the open, and we had a little bounce. I wasn't looking to take this for a reversal. I was looking for a trend continuation on this, and you can see I was really patient. I waited and waited, and typically when we get a candle like this and you have a long wick going in the opposite direction that the trend is going, you would normally associate this with stop losses getting taken out, and then now the stock is going to start moving in the direction of the trend. So when I saw that, I got excited and I jumped in, and immediately the next candle pulled back and stopped me out. I got a little slippage on this, but no big deal. That's part of the deal. I use a market stop to make sure I get out in case this thing is running away from me. Trading with smaller accounts, you have to protect your capital, and this is kind of what I was doing. But you see, it never really did anything all day. It just kind of hung around this level and traded sideways. But it was just a small loss. I managed it, and that's how I'm able to take 3-4 trades, lose on 3, and win on 1, and I'm green on the day still, because I manage my losses. I keep them in check. And if you can do that, you can lose on 3 and win on 1 and make money. And if you looked at my weekly recap, you see that I'm hovering around 50% accuracy this month, but I'm still in the green because I'm managing my losses, making sure I'm sticking to my stops. So the next one I looked at was SWFT, and I probably should have left this alone too, since I did make money on it, but I probably should have left it alone because this was going into lunch. I was supposed to be going to lunch, and I saw this and I'm like, this is going to give us a significant bounce. 30-40 cents, I can get 500 shares of this. That's another $150. I can have a pretty decent day here. And when you start thinking that way, that's when things may not go the right way, and you may not manage to trade the right way. But my goal was to catch the bounce and sell it all at the 9. I wasn't going to piece it out. And we had a nice candle here. I was kind of concerned about this level, but when we closed above it, I felt we were in good shape. We were going to go ahead and make it. Well, the next candle open started to sell off, and I dumped it because I was thinking we're going to reject here at this level. But eventually it caught again, and it made the move up to the 9. But just a small profit. This pretty much took care of the loss. It equaled it out. Just didn't make the move I was looking for. But then came the good trade here, this HOG. It wasn't clean. I have to be the first to admit it was not clean. It started out very stressful because I heard the news and I rushed to type this thing in on my platform, and I had hotkeys. And what happens on my hotkey, one of my back keys is Shift G. Okay, for G for go. And what it does is it buys 200 shares or whatever stock. And sometimes I have a habit of hitting shift to make caps for the letters, when here you don't have to do that. You can just type them in and it automatically makes some caps. But sometimes I do that, and evidently when I hit shift G, when I had shift and I was typing in HOG, I bought, and I didn't even know it. I had bought 200 shares and had no clue. And after I typed it in, I started looking at my Thinkorswim chart, because that's where I have all my levels and everything laid out. And I was waiting for it. And you know that the way I trade breaking news is I never jump in on the first candle. I always wait for the 50% retracement of that first candle. I always wait for it to pull back at least half of what it ran, and then I can get in. So once this candle printed and we sold off all the way down here, this candle opened and I went to get in and realized I was already in the trade. And so I quickly sold it, because, and somebody asked me, you know, why didn't I just add? Well, if I had added, my average would have been up here, and it would have been a lot farther away. We're really too far away from where I wanted to base the trade off of. So that would have been stupid for me to add and increase my risk. So dumping it, just taking the small loss here, it wasn't that big, take the loss and then get back in and trade your strategy, you know, using the proper risk reward and everything. And that's exactly what I did, and ended up practically nailing this thing. And you know, that really made my day. And I thought the excitement of the day was over and everything. I was pretty proud of myself. And then the market sells off. And I'm sitting there like a deer in the head, looking in somebody's headlights with my mouth open, trying to figure out what's going on. And, you know, I'm not looking at any stocks. Everything is selling off. Everything it was selling off has pretty much gone. I wasn't chasing anything. So I was just sitting there like, what the hell am I going to do? You know, here's a volatile day in the market again, and I'm sitting on my hands. I don't have anything to trade. And it was kind of driving me crazy. So I go back to SWFT because I saw it rejected, and so I'm waiting to see if we can get below this 25. And it kept rejecting. I even waited for it to hit the 20 here and reject. And then I got in, because typically this is what it does. It'll fake out, then go back up, run and hit the 20, and then it sells off. So I anticipated the move through 25, because I felt that if it did lose it, it was going to be a quick drop. And I didn't want to chase it. So, you know, I got in and it didn't do anything. It traded sideways all afternoon, and I held it. And then finally, when we broke over, we had a good solid break over it. I just took it off. You know, my hard stop was up here, but I just took it off because I knew we weren't going to get to where I wanted to be. You know, I knew the trade was dead then. So, you know, end of the day, on, you know, another small loss, it was managed. But the problem is I was sitting here itching, trying to find a trade because the market was selling off. The market was selling off, but damn if this thing would. I mean, it just stayed there. It didn't do anything. But, you know, that's trading. Can't complain. I made the decision, so, you know, I got to stick with it. But that was my day. It was a pretty interesting day. I like I said yesterday, I'm getting more excited about the next month. You know, we got Friday. I'm still going to keep it in check. I'm not going to get outside of myself. And, you know, try not to get overexcited about, you know, when Monday gets here. Just still stay within myself, still keep my head. But I'm really looking forward to, you know, bringing in some decent money every day, day trading. Swing trading has been paying the bills. I mean, it's flat been paying the bills, but you know, day trading is my passion. So, you know, I want it to pay the bills. I want it to satisfy me. So that's it for me. We're gonna try to close this week out. You know, I want to I don't want to say or set a daily goal or set a monetary goal. I just want to make sure I'm good and green. I want to have a decent or okay month. I know it's not going to be good. I know I'm behind, but I just want it to be green. You know, and unless I bump my head, there's no way I'm going to have a red month. But, or just like pass out in the middle of a trade and I'm short and it goes to zero. But, you know, just looking forward to August. I can't say that enough. All right, guys, so take it easy. Have a great evening, a great night, and I will check you out tomorrow.